The United States has just launched a major trade investigation against 16 economies across the world, including India, China, Japan, and the European Union. The move comes just weeks after the US Supreme Court struck down the Trump administration's tariff strategy, forcing Washington to rethink how it pressures trading partners. So, what exactly is Section 301? Why has the US invoked it now? And which countries are under investigation? Hello and welcome to The Print. I am Samah Qundeel and let's break it down. Firstly, what is Section 301? Section 301 refers to a provision of the Trade Act 1974. This section allows the United States to investigate foreign trade practices it believes are unreasonable or discriminatory and harm American commerce. If the investigation finds that a country's policies are unreasonable or discriminatory, the US government can retaliate with trade measures such as additional tariffs, import restrictions, or other trade barriers. These investigations are conducted by the Office of the United States Trade Representative, often called the USTR. On March 11, 2026, the USTR launched a fresh round of Section 301 investigations. The probe focuses on whether government policies in other countries are contributing to global manufacturing overcapacity that harms US industries. Officials will examine issues such as industrial subsidies, state-supported manufacturing expansion, activities of state-owned enterprises, barriers to market access, currency practices, and suppressed domestic demand. The investigation covers major sectors including steel and aluminium, automobiles, batteries, electronics, chemicals, machinery, semiconductors, and solar modules. The investigation targets 16 economies, which are China, the European Union, Singapore, Switzerland, Norway, Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, Thailand, South Korea, Vietnam, Taiwan, Bangladesh, Mexico, Japan, and India. Many of these countries had already negotiated trade agreements with the United States in the past year. For India, the investigation highlights several sectors where the US believes there may be excess manufacturing capacity or export surpluses. These include solar modules, petrochemicals, steel, textiles, health-related goods, construction materials, and automotive products. The US notice says India's solar module manufacturing capacity is already nearly 3 times domestic demand, raising concerns that production could be heavily export-driven. Similar concerns are being raised about expanding capacity in petrochemicals and steel. The timing is significant. Just about 20 days earlier, on February 20, 2026, the Supreme Court of the United States struck down the legal basis for the Trump administration's reciprocal tariffs. Those tariffs had been a key tool used by Donald Trump to pressure countries during trade negotiations. After the ruling, Washington replaced the targeted tariffs with a uniform 10% tariff under the Section 122 of the Trade Act. But that change created complications. Several countries had already negotiated trade arrangements with the US that involved higher tariff levels, meaning their negotiated advantages suddenly disappeared. The Section 301 investigations will now follow a formal process. The public submissions will open on March 17th. The deadline for written comments and requests to testify is April 15th, and the public hearings in Washington at the United States International Trade Commission will be between May 5th to May 8th. Rebuttal submissions must be filed within 7 days after the hearings conclude. After reviewing evidence and consulting with governments involved, the USTR will decide whether retaliatory trade measures are justified. With its earlier tariff strategy curtailed by the courts, the United States appears to be turning back to trade investigations and targeted measures to maintain leverage in the global trade negotiations. And depending on the outcome of these probes, new tariffs or trade restrictions could follow, potentially affecting global supply chains and economies like India. Thank you for watching. For more such content, keep watching The Print.